Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren, and we are recapping Big Brother Season 27, The Summer of Mystery. And for these shows, we have a very special co-host, my mom. We'll call her Mama C.
Hi there, channel surfers. Lauren has dragged me into this, but you know what? This is one of my favorite things to discuss Big Brother episodes.
We have been watching this for a long time, since Season 2.
Yes, it's always been fun.
Big Brother Season 27, Episode 1, The Summer of Mystery.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the hosts side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
I've got a pop quiz for everybody. When did Big Brother first start using Expect the Unexpected? What do you think? Mama C?
I think it was season 4, the X Factor.
That's what my thought was too. But apparently this is a big debate. When I Google it, they're saying season 14. When I ask AI, it's saying season 5. On Reddit, they're saying that season 3 was Expect the Unexpected because this is where Marcellus said, yeah, use me as a pawn. And then they kicked him out. Expect the Unexpected. But I thought it was the X Factor. Season 4, they brought in half the house guest. And then the second wave of house guests were all of their ex lovers, the X Factors. But I don't know, channel surfers, come on over to our Facebook page. Let us know what you think. I want to see where it comes from. I'm super curious. Another mystery of the Summer of Mysteries that I'm just throwing out there. But yeah, join us on social media. Leave us all the reviews. Let everybody know. We're brand new here, about 3 months in. Get the word out. There is a new Big Brother show and so excited to start it. So let's go ahead and talk about this big, beautiful house. Let's get into it. What do you think? First impression?
I know you're talking about the house, but my very first impression was Julie and how she was dressed. I just loved her dress. But if we're talking about the house itself, I just love the mystery theme. It just reminds me of the board game Clue.
As far as Clue, I think there's a lot of connections. There may have even been a clue to that secret club car room. If you notice, there are things projected behind Julie on the outside of the house. On either side of the main door that you enter were these apparitions of doors. It almost looked like Disney's Haunted Mansion, where they project the ghost. Maybe that was a clue that there were hidden doors. The HOH was based on clues. So you had to listen through the door to hear the clues about Julie's outfit. You had clues appearing about the HOH relic. And then when we have our secret house guest, this person reminds me of a Clue character. You also saw a peacock in the corner.
It was there by the television where Julie was on.
And I thought that was because it airs on Peacock, but it could be a Miss Peacock. Even one of the house guests mentioned something about Clue, that they were going to find a weapon in her room, but I can't remember who that is. Channel surfers, if you know who I'm talking about, I looked through my 30 pages of notes. I did not mention who said that.
Well, you also made there was a magnifying glass symbol.
That's right. On one of the signs, you see the magnifying glass, which is what you see on the game of Clue, which my son's going to a birthday party this weekend. I got the little boy Clue Jr., and this was before this even came out. So I'm liking this theme.
So I got excited and I went and got my Clue card.
We're going to check off what we see in the season. What rooms are on the Clue card?
Let's see. There's the hall, the lounge, the dining room, kitchen, ballroom, conservatory, billiard room, library, and study.
Well, they have billiard tables usually in Big Brother.
We still haven't seen the HOH room or the have-not rooms.
As far as decoration, it isn't as bright and cheery as most Big Brother houses. The colors, the wallpaper, there's a lot of browns and dark blues, just a darker overall theme. But it's still one of my favorites because I love the vintage hints, the wallpaper, the kind of mid-century modern elements, the colors. It reminds me of my living room, dark blue, golden yellow, like a camel brown. The kitchen, the lemons on the plates that are on the table and the green cocktail glasses. My next door neighbor, she's doing her bathroom, redoing it in Art Deco jewelry box. And it reminded me of this house. the blue wallpaper with the silver geometric pattern and the light up mirrors, which the two-way mirrors, they have like strips of light around them. And of course, I love tuft furniture, and living room has tuft furniture. It's just a really fun house. There's so many interesting things to look at.
One of the house guests said it was his favorite house of Big Brother, and I think it's probably one of my favorite.
I can't think of one that comes close. And then we start meeting the house guest. So the first group of house guests that come in the first date, we've got Kelly up first. She comes from a small town, only about 50 people, and we see her doing goat yoga.
Oh my gosh. So my first impression was she looks like a web designer for the Supercell game Heyday, which I've been playing for 12 years. And yeah, I'm a nerd like that. And we'll learn more about that as this podcast goes on, how much of a nerd I am.
Me sitting here with my Star Wars shirt on, but yes, we are both gamers. What do you think about the goat yoga? I've got some goats right down the street from your house. You could give it a try. Go make some friends with the goats.
Yeah, I think probably they'd be calling the cops on me.
They'd be pulling you off the ground. All right, next we have Zach. Zach, he is tall. He is muscular. He's a baseball player. And he has an intense skincare regimen.
What was that mask he was putting on? It's probably for pores. Maybe I should try it.
Now, he has this strong Christian background. His mom is Catholic and his dad is a pastor. And you could tell when his dad started talking, it sounded like he was in the pulpit. And he also has a strict Catholic mother, which I know what that's like. Anyway.
Yeah, not so much strict.
Channel server, if you're used to my regular content, Big Brother is going to be a lot cleaner. I said but earlier. She goes, oh, don't say that during the podcast.
Who said that?
Ooh,
I did not.
said it this morning. She doesn't even remember. We need to take you to the doctor and get that checked out.
Okay, whatever.
Next up is Ashley. She is an attorney, 25 years old from New York. So she is a brand new attorney. I loved her red blazer. That is a power suit. I want one of those. She's boy crazy.
Well, good. I'm glad. It'll make for an interesting season in the house.
There's some real pretty people in this house.
When I was taking notes about all the house guests, I think every single one of the girls, I went, oh, she's so cute.
Me too. And the little kid pictures, I'm like, oh, they're the cutest little kids. Now, Reilly, professional bull rider. He's got a lot of broken bones, head injuries. He's got a huge personality. He loves his family.
And he loves Jesse from Big Brother 10 and 11. And I don't know. I was like, oh, he's probably fallen on his head too many times.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, Jesse. Oh, yeah. I remember him. So he was on Big Brother 10, that Dan Giesling one. And then on Big Brother 11.
With Jeff and Jordan.
They had the different high school cliques. And he came back as a surprise as the athlete. So yeah, Reilly, big Jesse fan. Next up is Amy. This is our girl right here.
My gosh, is she like our relative?
Likely. Amy is an insurance agent. She's a single mom of 3. She has a big personality, and she's worried she might blow up on someone. When they walk into the house, she comes in with Kelly from the small town of 50, and Kelly is just astonished by how loud Amy is.
Well, she hasn't been in a room with you or me.
Or anybody in our family. I didn't even notice she was loud. I was like, not sure what's going on. Next up is Adrian. So Adrian is super organized. It reminds me of my husband, Rob. He's got all these Costco shelves and he has all those labeled boxes.
Yeah, I thought he was an interesting guy. I love the fact that he built a Big Brother wall and practiced and had one of his friends or something spraying him with the hose. It was hilarious.
I love the fact that it was the Big Brother wall because during our preview where you said there's no competitions in Big Brother, I said I'd fall off that wall in 2 seconds. He also had a praying mantis mansion.
Yeah, when you mentioned that earlier, I'm like, what is a mantis mansion? But that's funny. I like that.
It's basically Jake's houses in Animal Crossing.
Ew. His little island, and he got to like a 3-star before I ever did because all he had to do was put all his fish and his bugs he caught and everything on the island in their little cages.
For any channel surfers that played Animal Crossing, one of his boxes, it said puzzles, which one of our competitions is going to be puzzles. Moving on, Lauren, hey! This was my first pick before we read the bios just because of the name. Now, she is from Louisiana, went to LSU. She is a bridal stylist and she wants to start her own design company. She's been a super fan since she was 7 years old.
Okay. Well, like I said, the only first impression I had of her was she's cute.
When Zach comes in, she catches his eye immediately.
I look forward to seeing what happens between those two.
Now, I kind of did the math. If she started watching Big Brother when she was 7, she was probably starting to watch around Jordan's season 11, maybe season 12. So much happened before season 11. It's just crazy to think. The last person in this first set of 8 is Keanu. I'm just going to let Mom take this over because my note said I know this is going to be Mom's favorite.
Okay, you're absolutely right. I love Keanu. Even in that little promo we did, he was a gamer, said he was a dungeon master. I said, he's going to have a good personality. I really am going to like him. And he did not disappoint. He is a Star Wars fan. He loves Lord of the Rings. Same as me. I told you I'm a big nerd, and oh
I
my
got
gosh.
my Darth Vader walking a dog shirt in honor of Keanu today. Mom, her birthday is May the 4th be with you. And growing up, we watched Star Wars like every day. Dad would come in from work and ask us if we were really watching it again.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the DVDs.
No, they were the VHS.
I'm telling you, every day for like 2 or 3 months, we'd be watching one of the 3 original ones.
So as soon as he said that in Lord of the Rings, I threw my hands up. I was like, that's it. She had a strong feeling about him coming in. That's going to be it. Mom's going to love Keanu. All right. So then we get to the second set of house guests. First up, Catherine from Colombia. Mom, you've lived in that area for a long time. She is a fine dining server. She's a feminist. She is resilient. She moved around a lot. She says she kind of raised herself. She'd live with her mom some, live with her dad some. And what I liked, she said, guys, she's not too interested in dating. She's very independent. And she's like, it would be an asset, but she's not depending on a guy for happiness, which I think is very healthy. She might be the one to find love here. I don't think she's looking for it, but that's usually when you find it.
That's true. I wouldn't know where she worked because I don't do fine dining.
I was trying to figure it out, but I haven't lived in Colombia in 15 or more years. I thought at first it was Motor Supply Company. Went to their website and similar vibe, but I don't think it was that. When she walked in, she went and hugged Zach. I was thinking, we might have a love triangle. Now, next up, we've got Vince. Vince, the unemployed, machete juggling, living with his parents, because even though everybody in the house is good looking, they can't say they live with their parents. CVS Uber driver. So he's unemployed, but he delivers a lot of Uber Eats to the CVS lot. And when he goes in there, he's looking at the Big Brother house, which is on a set. And now he's living there. What do you think of Vince?
Yeah, he is the one I said looked like a lumberjack. And I still think he should, if he's unemployed, that's where he should go, cut down some trees somewhere. Of course, we've got the gaming aspect of it. He looks like Mario because he has the mustache and wearing red.
His gameplay is going to be interesting, and we will get into that for sure. Mickey from Atlanta. She's so cute. When she was a little girl, she's just so adorable. She is an event curator, and she is a city girl in Atlanta, but she's got a countryside.
She does. And I was really shocked that she went right to Reilly and started flirting with him.
She thought he looked like Brad Pitt, which I didn't see that. I saw tall Elijah Wood.
You're right. He does look like a tall Elijah Wood.
She had his cowboy hat on. In the preview, when we meet her, she's riding horses. She said she loves the countryside, which she lives in Georgia. There's plenty of that. Next is Jimmy from Washington, D.C. He is a strategy consultant, and he said his contract ended on Twitter. I don't think he looks old enough, though, to have been working when Twitter was Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is. I think in his bio it said he was an AI designer.
Yeah. He has a beautiful smile. Those dimples and just beautiful teeth. I don't know. When he smiles, he's so handsome. And he wants to play dumb. He doesn't want people to know how intelligent he is. So you don't want to go in too strong. But then he wants to try to win all the competition. So I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
We'll find out. All right. Next up is Morgan. She is from LA. This is my favorite.
I knew she was a gamer, and she likes to play the kind of games your brother plays.
Well, the shooting game. So she's not playing like Animal Crossing like me and Mama Cece or Sims, or I'm designing the houses, or Heyday or Monopoly Go.
No, talk about Zelda. I love Zelda.
Zelda. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Zelda, Mario games. Yeah,
Love
whatever.
Zelda.
We're nerds.
When Tears of the Kingdom came out, Mom and I jumped on video call and we started the game together. Like we downloaded it and we were watching the opening scene and just totally geeking out. But she's a content creator. She was a track athlete, which long time ago, but I had school records for pole vaulting at 2 different schools. Her parents were track coaches, but yeah, I really like Morgan. I really relate to her. I hope she goes far. She's a gamer and she's going to keep that under wrap. And then last up we have Zay, and Mom, hate to inform you, he is not an underwear salesman like you thought he might be when we did the promo. I cut that part out.
No, I didn't say he was an underwear salesman. I said he could have modeled for underwear.
No, you want to tell us about Zay from Utah?
No, I was like, first of all, who goes door to door? I mean, the only people that come to my house is to sell like AT&T Uverse or something. I didn't know they had door to door salesmen, but when they said he was a Mormon, I said, oh, that explains it. Or he used to be a Mormon.
Ex-LDS. Now he drinks coffee, enjoys a cocktail. He does math competitions, but he also wants to hide that he's smart. Everybody is hiding that they're smart. He was a Division I cheerleader. But yeah, door to door, I actually have a sign under my Ring camera that says no soliciting, like Amazon drivers and friends, neighbors are welcome, because we do get a lot of that. People trying to sell solar panels, which before I had that sign, I'm like, I have them on my roof already. Don't need 2 of them. Yeah, so maybe he's selling solar panels. Now, you really like this next character too, and I do as well. We have Will from Charlotte. He is a sportscaster, 50 years old, a former Army captain. So he pays attention to things. He's going to be very vigilant in figuring out what's going on around him. And he's got 5 kids and 9 grandchildren at 50. Wow, that's awesome. And he doesn't have any mercy on these grandkids. He's going to beat them.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Will is also one of my favorites. Because he had Gamecock galore behind him. I mean, I'm kind of blank here. Maybe I should put up some Gamecock stuff. I don't know. But I just loved him. And the fact that he served our country, him and his wife, I love that too. So I'm going to be rooting for him.
He said that he had 3 girls that played basketball and 2 of them were on an elite level. I'm guessing that they probably played for Carolina. I went to undergrad and law school at University of South Carolina, so I am a Gamecock. And our women's basketball team, Dawn Staley, we are national champs time and time again. That really is an elite position to have. So no wonder he's podcasting. He's a proud papa.
Yeah, well, we'll still look and see if where his daughters played.
And his wife is adorable, and she is his little chocolate drop. They're real cute together. They have a mixed Brady Bunch family. I loved Will. Next, we've got Ava from New York City, and she is an aura artist. Mom, what color is my aura?
White. You got your white headphones on.
I think I don't know. If I'm saying an aura, it's probably because I need to get that cataract surgery. Anyway, she is a 60s flower power kind of vibe. She is an artist in New York City, so she has to be competitive. And while she's not athletic, she thinks being an artist in New York City and the competition that requires, there's so many artists there, that's going to be what puts her ahead.
We can talk more about her when we get into the happenings of the house.
We have some thirst. I do like Ava, though. Her hat reminds me, though, of an 80s hat from Blossom. Kind of
yeah,
like
you have a picture.
Yeah. All right. And that's the house guests that we get to meet at this point. So house guests, they're all in the house. They're getting to know each other. And we see this clock. Now, we saw it when the first group went in. it was at about 6 minutes when we went to the second group. When they came back in, it was at about 4.5 minutes. First of all, I think this is editing. I don't think that second group got into the house in 1.5 minutes. They absolutely did not. So this is just an edit showing us this clock, but it goes down to 0 and we start the game.
Oh, yeah. The lights go out. Nighttime camera goes on, and you see that HOH relic. It goes down and disappears into the table.
And then you hear Will say, someone turn on the lights, and the lights pop right back on. And the phone rings.
Well, first they notice that Julie's missing.
That's
and
right.
all that's left is her shoe.
It's her white platform shoe, which you paid a lot of attention to her outfit. I noticed the white platform shoes. I was definitely wrong about a lot of the other stuff, though. And then the phone rings, and they pick it up, and they have to go get these scrolls. Now, on the scrolls are maps. And this is basically drawing straws for which HOH competition you're going to play in. We've got 2 different competitions, the Bridge Puzzle Challenge and the Relic Trapdoor Challenge. So everybody pulls their maps, and what they have to do, the Bridge Puzzle Challenge, they have to find Julie. Where did she go? The Relic Trapdoor, they have to find that relic that disappeared. We learn all of this because on the TV where Julie was, we get...
Okay, Darth Sith. I don't think it's called Dark Sith, but he was a Sith in one of the Star Wars.
Mom thought Star Wars. My first thought, Gerudo Thief from Legend of Zelda. The ones that you have to like take their bananas, you have to sneak around their cave, and then they just start popping up everywhere in the game once you find them. So I usually save that to last, but they also have the red masks. So I thought Gerudo Thief, and that's what I've referred to him as everywhere in my notes. But he's the one that says, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get these competitions set up, splits them into teams. Let's go find Julie and the relic. All right, so first up is that Bridge Puzzle Challenge. What you have to do is you have to construct a bridge out of puzzles. So there's like a wooden bridge, and you have to put the puzzle pieces over it. And you can't step in the lava. It was kind of confusing to me.
Well, they didn't step in the lava. They stepped on the slats of the bridge, but they had to construct their puzzle.
Because I was thinking at first you would have to like build it from the back and build it forward, so you're creating the bridge as you went. But they were just running all over the bridge. You said they're stepping on slats. I was just trying to figure out what they were doing. Once you get to the other side, then there's these doors. There's 8 doors. 7 of them have fake clues. And the way you listen to it is there's this little speaker beside it. You have to put your ear up to it. It would have been a lot cooler if they had like a glass. Let's see what they're saying.
It could have been like they were listening through a window because there were slats there. What's the young man who?
Adrian.
Adrian.
That puzzle box at his house. And he's building this bridge, but he actually cheated off of Zach. He looked over to see what Zach was doing because he got ahead. So Adrian did end up being the first one to cross over the bridge. The second one that came across was Amy. Amy, she's like, when she built the bridge and got across, she goes, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. I should have paid attention.
She might be a little ADHD.
I am Amy, relating so hard to her right now. Anyway, Zach constructs his bridge, and he's the third one to get out there. But what he's noticed, he's paying attention to everything. He's noticed that Adrian has already checked the 4 doors on the bottom. So he goes straight to the 3 doors on the top. That is some good process of elimination. Now, would you have remembered what Julie was wearing?
I did remember some of it, yes. I knew she wasn't, I knew she wasn't wearing a jacket because I loved her dress. Did notice her pearls, her bracelets on the one wrist.
I would not have done well at this unless I figured out the process of elimination or something. I thought she had a white colored jumpsuit on with spaghetti straps and long pants with purple flowers, not blue. And the one thing I noticed were the platform white shoes that she had, because I kept looking at them and thinking that looks very 1990s. I didn't even see if she had jewelry on. But during these scenes, one thing I did notice, her nails were gorgeous. My favorite color is teal. She had these dark teal nails on that matched the flowers on her dress. I want some dark teal nails now. Very cute. Chef's kiss.
Well, I think one of the the clues. She was wearing black shoes. I knew because there was a white platform shoe, the only thing that was there when she was taken.
I wasn't sure about the watch.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
Wow.
All right, well, we would have done okay.
So that's the first part of the HOA competition, the winner, Zach. Second part, they're looking for the relic. I didn't really notice how intricate that relic was. It has 4 different gems on it of different colors. This relic, it's like a rectangle shape. In each quadrant, there's a different key. It's either going to have a spade on the end, a little house symbol, like a stop sign symbol, or a moon symbol. I would have had to pay attention to the clues that are in this puzzle because I wouldn't have been able to remember. I wouldn't have paid attention to any of that.
The first person who put his relic into the place to see if it was correct or not was Keanu. And I thought that he just figured it out really quickly. So Keanu is not going to win this competition.
Now, there have to be at least 60 of these relics that they're looking for. And there's also clues around. One of the things that's going to be kind of hard is that you might look in a spot and not see a clue, but you can't eliminate that. If you're doing process of elimination, you can't say, well, there's no clue over there because clues magically appear as time goes on. What would your strategy have been for this?
Well, I don't have a great memory. And there was a lot of things to remember.
So you would have waited for the clues.
Definitely. Unless I didn't want to win. And then I may have just grabbed one after several people had fallen through the trapdoor.
That sounds like Morgan's strategy because she's a gamer. She says, I don't want to win this. But then it was really funny. I think your strategy is good. Not only would the clues that are revealing themselves give you an idea, but also you may be able to use process of elimination looking at other people's objects. Now that fall, what did you think about the fall?
Oh my gosh, I was like, if I had to do that, I would break my neck or my back or my legs or something. Though it didn't look like it was a long fall. It was like it appeared to be.
That's when there's definitely some editing tricks in here. I wonder how high of a fall it was. And they weren't just falling back to back. So they would have time to set up whatever is receiving them during the breaks. I'm thinking it was a shorter fall and there was just sound effects that made it worse.
And it could be the platform they were standing on just dropped quickly.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Keanu is the first one out. Then we have Kelly go down, Zay, Will, Morgan, Catherine. We are left with Ashley, the attorney, and Jimmy, who is wanting to say some kind of bad, even though he said he was going to go in and not show him how smart he is, this mathematical genius. Jimmy, he ends up pulling it out. Before this competition started, we heard this voice from overhead that reminds me of OTEV. The voice is heckling them. It says, I can't wait for you all to lose. Jimmy is fired up. He says, I'm not going to lose this competition. He was right. He didn't lose it. So we've got our 2 winners. We've got Jimmy on the relics and Zach saved Julie. Now, you mentioned this. You said you don't think you've ever seen Julie on the Big Brother set before.
No, I don't remember her being in the house with the house guest or even in the backyard. So I'm wondering, like, it seems like this might have been the first time she's ever been with the house guest in the yard.
I agree. I can't think of a time unless did she go out there for any of the proposals like Jeff and Jordan?
I don't know.
I can't remember. So channel servers, let us know. If you can remember a time where Julie was in the backyard or in the house, let us know because we've been watching a long time and we can't pinpoint a specific one. This is the first time I've seen it.
And before we get on to the rewards, I just want to mention, we didn't talk about this earlier, but there's a lot of acting that these Big Brother guests do. It's like when they're falling through the trap doors, they're probably told to act like they're falling a long way. The girl who picks up, I think it might have been Lauren who picked up the phone when it rang. All the house guests heard what was being said on the phone, but she kept the phone to her ear like she was the only one who was receiving the message. A lot of acting in the house.
Absolutely. This is a TV show and there's definitely editing. If you've listened to earlier episodes of Remote Reality, they are not they're explicit for a reason. I've even told my mom not to listen to some of them, but my old roommate and I, we have no filters. Anyway, she was on a reality TV show and she was my roommate right after she had been on that show. And it was pretty traumatic for her just because it was back in 2014. Social media was just kind of starting to go after people who had been on these kind of shows. She wouldn't even watch reality TV at that point. But me and our friend Will, our other roommate, we were about to watch Big Brother. We love Big Brother. So I was like, come on, Liz, come on, you can watch it. She says, no, I can't stand it. I can't stand the editing. And I was like, there's not editing in Big Brother. You can watch them live online. You can see what's happening. So like they don't hide stuff from you. And now I'm realizing absolutely there's editing. Even though we see a lot of things live online, there are times that we don't see things like the fish bowls during the competition. We don't see them recording the ITMs, the diary room. So as things have gone along, absolutely, there's editing in all reality TV. They've got to make it interesting. So Jimmy and Zach, the two winners, they are going to get rewards. Gerudo Thief Guy. Revenge of the Sith is coming to tell us what they've won. Now, Zach, he gets $10,000 in cash, and he's pretty excited about it. Jimmy, he gets to choose the 4 players that play in the HOH comp. Which one would you want, and what would your strategy be?
Well, first of all, it would definitely be the $10,000. I think that Zach won the best prize for sure. Maybe it puts a target on his back, but probably not.
Well, that was my concern. With the $10,000, if you're getting to a point in the game where you've got 2 picks on the block and they're equal in all aspects, these are your 2 allies, you've got to find some reason to kick one of them out. An easy reason, an easy out could be, well, look, Zach's already gotten some money. Let's give this other person a chance at money. Now, usually when we see that happen, though, they've chosen the prize themselves. This one was just, I don't know how they picked who got what. Maybe that was the reward from the beginning. Whoever wins this HOH, Relic gets the HOH. And whoever finds Julie gets the $10,000 reward. That could put a target on his back down the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was so much going on after the fact that I think they're going to be all involved with everything else. I don't think they're going to really remember it unless Zach becomes a big threat in other ways.
They're going to remember he got it. Now, you brought up a good point, too, when we were talking about this, that Jimmy could have a target from having to choose 4. Absolutely. So if you're Jimmy, how do you address that situation? The first thing I thought was you need to go to everybody and try to get volunteers, which he did. I would have done it in front of everyone so people wouldn't think I was making alliances or coming up with deals. I would have just said, like, house meeting, let's do this. It's week 1. Nobody has an alliance. Sure, it can be a great time to form one, but you don't want to go in too hard too early. But I'm glad he did talk to everyone.
Yeah, I was kind of concerned at the beginning because it seemed like everybody was saying, I don't want to do it, which I would think the same thing. I wouldn't want to do it. But then I liked the ones and their reasons for saying, yeah, I'll do it. And I think one thing is that they could appease Jimmy. But then on the other hand, if they get picked, then they could throw the challenge if they really didn't want to have a target on their back or become the HOH and have to put up people.
And why were these people not wanting to do the HOH?
Well, because they didn't want to have a target on their back. I mean,
there's that curse that if you're a big time Big Brother fan, you know, they say the first HOH, it's cursed. You will not win the show. Now, I did go and I looked. Besides one person in Celebrity Big Brother, there have been 5 other house guests that won the first HOH in the show. So Lisa Donahue from season 3, Hayden Moss from Big Brother 12, Cole Franzel from Big Brother 18, Cody Calafore from Big Brother 22. So all very big names, but the biggest, I think, Rachel Reilly, big personality, big name, married her love from the Big Brother house. She, on Big Brother 12, won the first HOH and won the show. So it does happen, but we're in season 27. It's happened 5 times. Maybe there's something to that. My thought, again, was let's have a talk with everybody, which is what he does. He goes to everyone separately. And the people who do come forward and say something to him, to Jimmy, are Zay, Adrian, Ashley, Vince, and Keanu. Now, Jimmy approaches Zay when he's coming out of the bathroom. He's got to be in a good mood. He just had that bidet glow up. He's fresh and clean. He's like, sure, man, let's do it. And he says, if I win it, you're definitely safe. Adrian says the same thing. He feels like, and Jimmy feels safe with Adrian. He also says he feels safe with Ashley, who offers to protect Jimmy if she wins. Keanu, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to target you. If I win HOH, you are not on my radar at all. And Vince makes a last minute pitch to him. He says, I'll throw it. Because Jimmy's gaming hard right now. Jimmy asks Vince, if we're neck and neck at the end, can I give you a look and you toss it to me? And Vince says, yeah. He says yeah to his face. But
then we get to the little diary room or little comment saying, yeah, I probably won't. I haven't figured it out yet. Because I'm like, no, I wouldn't throw it. But then that would put a target on his back. I don't know. He didn't have to worry about it, though, because it was nowhere close. It was nowhere close.
They were nowhere close in this last competition. Vince, in the diary room, he says, the HOH, this is the only way to guarantee my self-preservation. So is this move bold or is it foolish? Well, like you said, in the end, it didn't matter because it wasn't even close. Let's say they had been neck and neck and he wins HOH. Does he recover from that? Does it even matter? It's week 1. Nobody has alliances. It's not like everybody that's on Team Jimmy is going to target Vince. So it may not even matter. And one of the things I noticed when he was talking to the house guest, there's this huge wall of wine in one of the rooms. And I was sitting there thinking, oh man, they usually lock that up in the, are we going to party this season? Now, I'm not looking at things online. Mom, you said that you saw something that said that wasn't real alcohol.
Right. They said that it could have been in the bunk beds where the sleeping car vibe was, but they said that they had a bar, but they weren't going to provide guests with wine and stuff all the time. So
for the HOH challenge, Jimmy picks himself. Then he picks Ashley, Adrian, and Vince. He does not pick Zay. He does not pick Keanu. And when they first came in the house, Zay and Keanu, they had a bromance. They were feeling each other. Might turn into an alliance. They're also very strong players from a physical standpoint. Now, at this point, Jimmy doesn't know what the competition's going to be, but it looks like he's eliminating the players that would have a physical strength in performance over him, the 2 big guys. Now, Jimmy's not a small guy. He's very tall, but everybody he picks, they're like not as tall as Jimmy. They're not as strong as Jimmy, which tells you he's playing a game. He's strategizing in his picks. And we already know he wants to win because of what he told Vince. I don't know that Vince is keeping it a secret, but I don't think Jimmy is hiding very well that he wants to win. I think it's pretty obvious.
Well, good luck with him.
Move. My first thought would be you need to pick somebody who could beat you to build trust, to show them, look, I'm going to put you up. You said you want to play. You can play. I trust you. But the 2 strong guys that are going to be physical beast mode competition, he didn't pick them, and they're already kind of getting a bromance on. So I don't know. I don't know that. And you're right. This may be the downside to being the first HOH. So this last challenge, this is the balance challenge. They have these big balancing grenade-shaped weights, and they have this tower of seesaws. There's about 3 of them. The seesaws are like poles. They have to take the weights and balance them on either side, run back, hit a button, and if they stay on for 10 seconds, they win. Now, this got pretty close.
Well, it got close in the fact that there were two of them that had their weights on the platform or the tree or whatever you want to call it. But one of okay, and I call this a tree because it looks like a tree. It looks like it has branches. Maybe they're even putting the nuts on the tree to balance them. I don't know.
That's a good analogy.
But and so it was close between Adrian and Vince. And Adrian had all of his balance, but before he could even run to go push the button, one fell and then it just all started falling. And then that is when Vince, who was sliding his little weights ever so slightly,
That was so smart.
Had them balanced, ran and pushed the button and won. I think they could have used a different strategy. I don't know. Maybe they were using the strategy. They didn't talk about it, but I would have. I've noticed that there was paintings on these poles. I don't think they were like the same distance away from the end, the painting. And if you had the painting go out far toward the end, you would want to use a lighter weight. And then if the painting was closer to the middle, you would want to use a heavier weight because they looked like they were different sizes and they had numbers on them. I was thinking that was like the higher the number, the heavier the weight. But that was my thought.
That might have been the clue because I'm sitting here thinking this is all about clue. We have clues in the first two. What was the clue in the last one? That might have been it. That may be it. I thought that was very smart. Vince taking them and just kind of slowly sliding them out. It kind of reminds me of those scales at the doctor's office where they're slowly sliding it down. But yeah,
no, they don't slide it. They slide it up for me.
So Vince is our new HOH. He wasn't anywhere close to Jimmy, so I don't think he's not mad about it. He thinks that Vince just saved them both because he wasn't having any luck with the balance memes. So Vince, he is officially our new HOH. And, well, expect the unexpected. What does our newly returned Julie tell?
Well, they reminded us about the AI arena from last season where the HOH chose 3 people and those 3 people would go and compete against each other and one would save themselves. So they were surprised that that is no longer a twist, that is part of the game now.
For a minute now. And I missed last season, didn't know how it worked. Didn't know if this replaced the power of veto, but you said they still have the veto comp.
Right. So when he said he would have to nominate twice the number of people, which he had to, instead of naming maybe 3 nominees, because if you won the veto and took one down, you'd have to replace it. You would have to name 3 people. One would take themselves off with the competition, and then he would have to do another person. So that would be like 4 people should somebody win the veto and take themselves off.
So instead of having a maximum 2 people in the house that are mad at you, the person that you nominated that survived, and then the person that you put up for veto that survived, or anyway, 3 nominees, one of them's gone. Now you've got up to 3 people in the house that are mad at you. How do you think that this is going to affect the Big Brother game? I did not watch last season, but what do you think?
Well, it was really a good twist last year because you were able to save yourself. And so there was a lot more people running around and trying to do different strategies because they've never seen it before. You know, they might have some new, from watching last season, they may have some ideas of how they're going to work this season.
Well, I think we started getting into a comfort spot with where we were on Head of Household. We had the backdoor strategy. It became overused. There was just a very set strategy after over a decade of doing 2 nominees and a veto. They needed to mix it up. I think what this is going to do, this is going to focus the game more on the social game. It's going to take us back to creating alliances and playing that social factor because you don't necessarily want to win HOH. You're pissing off up to 3 people. And one of them could even return later in the game if we know Big Brother. So you don't want people to be mad at you. I think we're going to have to focus more on the social game here instead of winning HOH. I don't know. I think this is going to shift us back to a social game. And those classic moments we see, like Dr. Will going into the Big Brother All-Star house and saying, it's not that I don't like you. I don't like any of you. Those really good moments. Or Dan Giesling giving his own funeral speech. So I like it. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this twist. Now,
Well, okay, let's talk about the
big twist.
new surprise
Our
house
new
guest.
house guest. It's not just 16 this season, y'all. Not just 16. Red hair? Is that red hair? Is that Rachel Reilly coming down the stairs looking like Miss Scarlet?
Oh, I'm just so excited because, her first season was like, she was just a whining, crying. I mean, I was like, this girl
You know,
has
she
got
was
to go.
very obnoxious.
But then the second season that she was on and she won, I really liked her a lot. And then she was on The Amazing Race and with
We love
her,
her,
well,
right?
she was on twice because I think once she was on when she was engaged or she wanted to get married, and then they were married and that she wanted to have children. So they had to win the $1 million for that, which they didn't win. But
Brendan, who she married from Big Brother, wasn't there like a scandal where he was giving his dick pics to people?
Lauren, this is, you do please, this is a G-rated show when I'm on.
All right. Yeah. Big Brother fans don't listen to my other stuff. Go ahead, Mom.
No, I'm good.
I just threw you. I love how she came down, floaters, grab a life vest. That is classic Rachel. And the house guest, this is going to give away that some of them are super fans. Could you hide the excitement if you're in there and Rachel Reilly walked in?
I think they make too much of a deal of the super fan. I mean, seriously, I do.
Okay, let me ask you a different question. Could you hide the excitement if Janelle walked in? Or Casey,
I would just be so excited. Yeah, I'd be excited.
Jeff, or Jordan?
Yeah.
Rachel, I like Rachel, but I think there are things that would give away our Big Brother fandom. I mean,
Yeah, I think
there's
I,
certain people
I
that
think
would walk in that house and it would be over.
I think it was Will who gave her a little bit too much credit. He said that she was probably the best player ever on Big Brother. I don't agree with that.
Who do
But
you think the best player ever is on Big Brother? To me, it's Dr. Will.
no,
It's a close up between that and Janelle because she is a veto beast, but she never won. She's the best player that never won.
I did like Nicole. And she was also, you didn't watch it, but she also won reindeer games when they had their little, was it 2 years ago? I don't know, but it was cute. She won that.
She was from the Midwest.
Right.
All right. So, yeah, we've got Rachel Reilly. How is this going to change the game?
Well, I don't know, but you did make mention she looked like the Miss Scarlet from Clue. And I didn't even think about that, but you are absolutely right.
Could we have a twist later where we've got Colonel Mustard, Miss Peacock, Mr. Green all come into battle? All of these all-stars battling each other to get into the house for one position. Maybe expect the unexpected. So initially, one of the strategies I thought for Jimmy was, look, if there's an unexpected house guest like Mama C predicted, just put that person up. Get them out of here. It's what's fair. They weren't first. You've got a reason to put them up. But if Rachel gets off that block and with these other twists, I'm changing my strategy. I think I'm becoming friends with Rachel. Trying to. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Can we be friends? What about you? Do you think there's anything? Did this mix up any sort of plan that you would have had?
No, because I knew that there was somebody coming in, and the guesses were it could have been somebody from Survivor or somebody political. But I think it's just brilliant that it's Rachel because she will cause an uproar in the house.
She certainly will. Well, there's another uproar in the house. We've got another mystery. Remember, this is Hotel Mystique. This is the Accomplice mystery. So
It's Hotel Mystere.
Mystique.
That's okay.
Rudo Thief Sith Lord comes back. What kind of spin does he have for us this time?
Well, he says there's an accomplice, and they were the ones that turned off the light and made the HOH relic disappear. And I'm like, well, you can't turn off lights in Big Brother. So I like, how do they do that? Then I started thinking they probably had a button to push. So I started thinking about who was sitting in a place that they could have been able to reach a button.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. I thought they might have to get up, though, to still hit it. My first thought was that HOH relic, though, fell into the table as part of the table. So maybe the button triggered both, but that exactly. I went back. I watched this on 2.5 speed. So we are not spoiled on this. Mom, do not go to Morty's TV. Let's try to figure out these mysteries ourselves. If you start feeling like you need to go to Morty's, go to the Facebook page, Channel Surfers, tell her no, no, no. We're not going to let her spoil this season. We're going to figure out these mysteries ourselves. So this is what I've got. Let's think about who this could be. Now, first I was looking at their reactions. Vince had a really dramatic reaction to this twist. It was like he was overacting. And at one point, everyone's looking at Julie on the TV. He has his head completely turned around as if it's like, ooh, I'm not doing anything. Also, he said he was that Uber driver that goes to the studio and brings them food, and he's seen that house and he's unemployed. Could that be Vince? Could Vince be the one that is the accomplice? Where I kind of turned away from that is the fact that he is kind of squished into the middle of the couch with people right on top of him.
Yeah, I noticed Ava and Will, they were both sitting in a chair or stool. I even thought Ava may have been slipping on the floor, but somewhere that they could possibly reach under a chair or reach under the couch and press a button.
Now, it depends on if it's a button or if they had to get up to actually go hit a switch somewhere
Yeah, but
else.
I don't think, I mean, where have you ever seen in Big Brother they could turn the lights on and off?
I haven't. I think they're going to make it easy for the person. If the challenge is you can't get caught, it's going to be as easy as just putting your hand under the door or under the couch. I think they probably would have to get up to do it, which is why I also guessed Will and Ava. Now, before that, I was also thinking it might be Catherine or Mickey. The camera kept going to Ava a lot to look at her facial expressions and to Catherine and Mickey a lot. My thought there is that the editors want people to go back and see how they were acting when they watch it, because they're going to want to see how well did you play this off. So at first I thought that, but then when I found out it was the light turning off and they probably had to get up to do something, that's when I switched my track over to Will and Ava. I just think it depends. If it's a button, that might not matter. If it's not, it may. Now, Ava, she looks dumbfounded a lot. She also mentions that she likes the art, which might be trying to throw people off. She's at the end of that couch, and she and Will, they're also closest to the relic, although they didn't take the relic. They were just closest to it. Now, Will, he's sitting at the end of a couch or on the bench beside the couch. And at the end of that couch is, I want to say it was Keanu. But when you see the lights go off, it's completely pitch black at first. When the nightlight camera vision cameras start to come on, you can see Ava sitting there. And she's kind of turning like this and putting her hand on the couch, but you still see her sitting there. When we see the other side of the couches with the house guest, they stop the camera right before you get to Will. So I believe it's Keanu you're seeing, and he's kind of turned around looking, and it's completely dark in there. So even though we can see it through the night cameras, he wouldn't be able to see it, but they don't show us where Will would be sitting. Now, Will also, I noticed one part in this where Zach was excitedly talking to him, and he was just kind of quiet, kind of in his own thoughts. He also, this could be his mission. He is an army captain. So there were a lot of things that made me suspicious about Will. But then with Ava, there were a lot of things that made me suspicious about her. If you're hiding a button, she had this long dress on and her hands were in her lap the whole time. Another thing I noticed is once the lights come on, Ava and Keanu are coming back from the kitchen toward the living room. What were they doing in the kitchen?
I don't know. I mean, one thing, it could be, like you said, a button. I didn't even think about this. It could be a remote control that they could easily slip into some big pair of pants, like a pocket or something. So you almost have to look to see what people are wearing. Also,
I don't think Editors are going to make it that easy.
Because you can't have something because I thought, well, maybe there's a button under the chair, but it couldn't be that easy because then the house guest could look under the chairs and say, oh, well, Will was sitting in that. It had to have been him. I'm just hoping they don't figure it out because right now I like all of the players and I want to see them play some more.
Now, another thing that made me, I'm between Ava and Will. I hope they don't figure it out as well. I like everybody. But if we're going to guess, I'm stuck between Ava and Will. Ava walking back from the kitchen. They're both sitting on the end. She's kind of overacting as well as underwhelmed to be in the game. He just might be very like stone-faced, put together. But when the lights are out, you hear Will. It's Will's voice. He says, someone turn those lights on. And then the lights immediately come on. He's not in the room with everybody when that happens. My guess is Will. If I have to pick one, I'm guessing it's Will. I hope he doesn't get picked.
They said that it had to be the majority of the house guests that decide who the accomplice is. So let's suppose that they pull him, let's say it's Will, and they pull him in and say, well, I think it's Ava. He could go ahead and throw some shade over to Ava.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a really fun season.
Yeah, same here.
All right, Channel Surfers. So that was a great first Big Brother season 27, episode 1. I'll be back tomorrow with our True Crime Saturday. On Monday, we'll be back with Big Brother 27 and on Thursday. So those will be Monday, Thursday, Friday. Not sure what time during the day. It just depends on Mama C's schedule.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm very busy, as I told you, in the mornings.
She's picking the pumpkins. I will have to post a picture of those on the Facebook. Make sure that you're following us on social media. YouTube, we're posting videos of this. You can watch us. We also have our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I post little clips of it on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And on Facebook, come on in. Tell us what you think. I want to know, Channel Surfers, who do you think the accomplice is? What are your theories? Let me know in the Remote Reality Facebook group. Come on over. Right now, we are 3 months into this podcast. This is Mama C's first podcast, but we are so thankful that you're giving Remote Reality a chance. We want to give you a chance too. So anybody who leaves a 5-star review with a comment, we're going to put you into one drawing. Anybody who's done it now through September 1st, same thing with the Facebook group. All of the Facebook group people through September 1st will be entered into a second drawing, and you could win both if you do both, but it's just a $50 drawing just to give you a chance and to really thank the Channel Surfers for giving us a chance. We are going into month 3. I can barely believe it. Having the best time doing this. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you back here on Saturday. Mama C will be here back next week, and we will see you soon. Hey, floaters, grab a life vest.
And don't forget, expect the unexpected.
Bye, Channel Surfers.